How are gym owners going to make money off of this?
First of all, gym owners can leverage wearables data and Rook's technology by moving away from one size fits all approach and offering a truly personalized fitness experience. This level of personalization leads to more accurate assessment, improved programming, and better results at the end of the day, which over time it builds a stronger member satisfaction, loyalty, which drives to retention. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like you will bring more people to the table to your club if the other are super happy with your product, with your experience.
All right, welcome back everyone to Sweat Success Podcast. And today I have someone on the show that I'm really excited to talk to. His name is Marco Benitez, and he created a product called Rook that allows you to get actionable insights into data on the wearables. There's over 300 products that they integrate with. And if you're in the fitness industry and you're one of those individuals, you're going, how can I get more information on my customer? Or how can my customer get information on what they're doing? So you can really help them. But I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to let Marco explain how it all works because he's got all the details. Marco, thanks for joining.
Thanks so much, Michael. I'm very, very excited to be here, and thank you for this opportunity.
Of course. So, when I think of Rook, the very first thing before we had a chance to talk and before I knew about you, I was thinking chess. So was there a reason why you chose the name Rook?
Yeah, to be very honest, at the very beginning, we have a different business model, and but it was everything on fitness. What we thought around Rook was on the birds, crows.
Oh, yeah.
So when they fly together, there are the rooks, and the crows are very very intelligent, and it's like every single one at some point take the leadership around all the birds. So that's how all these become into Rook, and we do similar things. We have different leaderships here in Rook. Everyone is a leader from different areas. So sometimes one take the leadership around one idea or any project. So that's how everything it's here together. So Rook, it's not so much around the chess game. It's more like for birds with the crows.
That makes sense. I mean, you guys are really kind of pulling together a lot of different aspects of data and trying to find the lead or find the insights, to one specific data point that makes sense. It really does. So what was it that kind of got you into this position anyway, to really kind of get started with Rook? First, just explain to the users kind of high level, what is it?
Yeah, well, yeah, Rook, it's an API solution. We are behind, we are in the backend, we are a very tech product. So our API and SDK solution, allows that fitness centers, clubs, insurance companies, digital health platforms can use the wearables data and make sense of all these wearables. So we are the ones who unlock and bring all these data in a very specific way so they can use it for different purposes like experience or engage with the end user or make insights and predictions around your health. So it's very powerful, the data that we can extract from the end users so they can use it. So yeah, the main idea, I can tell you a little bit of my background, so we can go directly to all the things that we do. I'm from Mexico, but now living here in the US in Florida. I love Florida because it's very interesting. There's a lot of Spanish, English, there's multicultural people here. So I love to live here in Florida. And well, yeah, I'm biomedical engineer. I have a second degree in biomedics. I love data. I love data. In fact, this is my second startup. My first startup was around data and work on before was a startup or a company around algorithms for hospitals. So one of my co-founders, he's now my co-founder again. We both built that product before, and then we get an exit. A big franchise of hospital bought our company.
That's great.
Yeah, it was amazing, was crazy. And I was talking about 2006. So we were very young, very young. We were in the college, in fact. We used to live together. So we are, we used to work together. Well, first studied together, then worked together, and now he has his own family. I have my own family. Our families work. They love each other. So it's
You guys are
amazing.
like brothers.
Yeah, basically, I always call him like, "Hey, brother, how are you?"
Yeah.
Or in the Spanish, I will say, "Hey, hermano, how are you?" Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So it's like it's crazy. It's my best friend. But then the main idea was in the fitness. At the very beginning, we have a very different business model. We were like the My Zone for Latin America.
Hmm.
MyZone, it's this platform where you can, integrate their own hardware and you can see in real time in screens effort zone, calorie burn, these type of things. So we build the same idea for fitness industry. A lot of success, to be very honest. We bootstrapped that company in Mexico and in the south of the US. Um, a lot of companies, a lot of fitness clubs were very interested in the data. That happened before pandemics. As always, and I think all the companies before pandemics or during the pandemics, everything changed, right? So a lot of fitness clubs in Mexico and in the south of the US closed the doors. So a lot of layoffs, a lot of very big problems. And that's when we changed a little bit our business model. We saw that the data was very impactful because, the fitness clubs owners were like, okay, what's going on with my end users, where they are? And we were, hey, they are still doing workouts, but in their home. That's interesting. So maybe we can build a virtual platform for them. So we create build a virtual platform, but not only using our hardware. But by the way, something I didn't tell you before is that we had also a hardware because we are builders. So we know how to build heart rate monitors. We build our own heart rate monitors, also the platform. And but the next step was, okay, let's create this everything on virtual. So we create virtual rooms for the fitness clubs. That helps a lot to those business because now we were like not only nice to have, we were a must, because if they want to continue building traction and create engagement with the end user or the member, they build this platform, or they have this platform to start doing workouts in home, and they can track it in real time. So in your like this, you can see your effort zone and calorie burn in real time. But something that we realized asking a lot to the end users was like they didn't want to use our hardware. They have Apple Watches, they have Polars, Garmin,
Hmm.
Suntos, Huawei's.
Yeah.
There's a lot outside. And we were like, okay, what if we integrate all of them in our platform? And that's when the magic came, because we realized that it's really a mess to integrate different wearables, and was a real mess to make sense of all the data,
Hmm.
and was a real mess to try to structure everything. And that's when the magic happened again. We saw that there was a huge opportunity over there, and we saw that the previous company was like, okay, this is going to be something good, but that's it. Good. The name of that company was Rook Motion, and we thought like, this is going to be good, but not that unicorn or that
Hmm.
big company that will be impactfully help human life and lifestyle and everything. So we were more keen to learn around the data, and yeah, that's how the story began.
So I'm interested in this because this is probably something that at least I'm thinking of it, and I have a feeling that a lot of listeners are thinking of this. Is if I use, first of all, can I use Rook as a gym owner? Can I use the product?
Yes, you can,
Okay,
if you have a platform, of course.
perfect. So essentially, a gym owner, we're fitness business, studio owner, doesn't matter if they're running group classes. Typically, these are things that you find in small or large group classes where you're tracking this data. If they have your platform, then essentially any customer can go ahead and use whatever wearable device that they have. To your point, right? There's a lot of them out there. And not always do customers want to come in and buy another heart rate monitor or something that is only compatible with that software platform. So what you're saying is they could go ahead and purchase essentially the software platform or use it to some capacity, and also allow their customers to use their own wearable device.
Yes, exactly. Basically, they let's put an example of one gym, and they have their own platform for
Mm-hmm.
access or for manage the membership or whatever, or maybe they have workouts integrated in the app.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they need to integrate our API, which is a code. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a code. They go to our webpage, they copy the code, they copy paste in their own code, and then that will help them to, you know, to allow them to get access to the end user's information. Of course, the end user has to approve, they need to consent
Sure.
that they are going to share the data. And there is one reason, because they are how or why they are going to share the data. Maybe they are going to receive, I don't know, insights, or maybe they are going to receive, I don't know, memberships, awards, or I don't know, different type of things. There is like an interchange always. It's like cookies, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the web, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. If you accept all, you will receive a lot of information about that particular, product or similar products at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. It's the same thing. It's the same thing for wearables.
So, thinking through this, how are gym owners going to make money off of this, right? I mean, if they're in this position, what's the monetization on it? I'm a gym
Yeah.
owner. I'm going to use your product, but how do I monetize on that? What's your kind of pitch to businesses like that who are trying to use your product?
Yeah, it's a very good question. First of all, gym owners can leverage wearables data and Rook's technology by moving away from one size fits all approach and offering a truly personalized fitness experience. At the end of the day, the data allows gym owners to track members' progress after often, because not all the time the end users or members know everything about themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this level of personalization leads to more accurate assessment, improved programming, and better results at the end of the day, which over time it builds a stronger member satisfaction, loyalty, which drives to retention. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like you will bring more people to the table, to your club, if the other are super happy with your product, with your experience.
So let's say you own a gym. How would you use this product to um, create a new revenue stream or upsell a service?
Yeah, that depends a little bit on the business model. But for example, we have some gyms, clubs that they have Rook integrated, and basically they give another experience with a nutrition and nutritionist, and with the coaches. They have the experience to personalize the experience for, if you are tired, how well you sleep, your nutrition, everything. They have the full information about yourself, and then they can give more insights and to the end user, with the help, of course, of the coach, with the help of the nutritionist or the physician. Maybe there is
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that there is like a doctor involved in the whole process for that person in particularly,
So
so
what
they
kind of
can upsell. Yeah.
outputs would you receive, right? Because the inputs are coming from the device and it's
Yeah.
going through Rook. Rook is taking all of this information, it's aggregating it, it's compartmentalizing certain things, and then it's giving you these outputs. We'll call it like metabolic rate for one. I
Hmm.
don't know if it's doing that. Heart rate is obviously another one that's probably common. Then maybe blood pressure for certain other
Hmm.
ones. So, can you give me an example of some outputs that you might receive as a business owner, so you can go, okay, this is good information to know about my client, so I can personalize the type of programming I do or the type of nutrition program that I'm giving them?
Yeah, there's two levels of information that you will receive. One is the heart rate variability, blood pressure, sleep data, stress levels, glucose levels. That depends 100% of the wearable that you have in your body, right? Because not
Mm-hmm.
everyone will give you all this information. That depends a lot.
Right.
So if that wearable only measures steps, you will receive only steps, right? But at the end of the day, what we want to do also is we have today, it's a health score. This health score, it will allow you to start to normalize all the information between all the members. So if you can build only a health score with the steps, for example, and we create different type of algorithms that can help you to give you like a score. So that will put in the same level all the people in the club, no matter which wearable they have. That's the first level. Receive all the data, try to use it for different purposes to
Mhm.
personalize the experience. Then we have this health score that can help you to normalize all the information with all the members. And there's like another level. The other level, it's like we share with you engagement, churns. We can give you a lot of information about your end users. Though the companies will have like, or they have like a platform where they can start to see, tendencies. They can start to see, different, how many end users are starting to connect, what happened with them, where they are doing exercise, are they doing exercise in your club, outside the club, these type of things. It's not specific. It's not like Michael is doing this because we are HIPAA compliant on our side. So we only can give you tendencies with all the data that we receive from your side, and yeah, we can compare with everything that we have today.
So, as I'm thinking about this, one of the things that's popping into my mind is the challenge that you might face as a business owner because your customer takes the watch off, right?
Mhm.
Puts it to the side. How are you managing that information, right? Because if you're taking all the data and kind of compressing it because you want to know everything that's happening, let's say in a given week,
Mhm.
and 2 or 3 of those days during that given week is missed data, right? So now that you have missed data, it doesn't actually you're not collecting it. Is it aggregating and kind of giving you an average of the 7 days, even though 2 or 3 of those days is not even being used? Or is the data being given in a way that it's going, all right, well, I can recognize that this device is not, you know, reading any kind of biomarkers or any kind of vitals. Nothing's happening. So because nothing's happening, let's pull that out of the equation and then now, do an average over 5 days or 4 days.
Yeah, it's a very good one. Definitely today where we are, we can't add more information. That's definitely because it's not like that. It's like what we can build, and we have some algorithms, is we create tendencies. We create things that normally happen. You know, we know that there is some components where the end user or the member or the patient doesn't use the wearable because maybe it's without battery or whatever, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe, I don't know, you change your wearable and then you have another one. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of things can happen, but definitely we have a lot of data today, so we can give you like a mainly more like the sense of what's going on with your club at the end of the day. Um, but definitely, we are not adding information if you don't have your wearable. Uh, we can tell you that some numbers of users doesn't have, or we don't have any other connection, but that's it today, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the future, we are planning to do more with the data. We are becoming more a data science company rather than just
Right.
a pipe of
Yeah.
extracting the data, because data today is everything. It's the new oil. Everyone is
Mm-hmm.
saying that, right? But it's a true. It's That's the reason that we can see right now in news that AI is everything. But AI is not something that became from one day to another. You have to make structure, you have to clean the data, you have to do a lot of things with the data first. Once you have everything standardized, normalized, harmonized, that's when you can start using this AI machine. And we are using AI, of course, but it's on for us. It's on our own algorithms, and we use AI to normalize the information, but it's our own property.
Right.
But that's the main idea. It's like yes, of course, we know that sometimes you don't use your wearable. Well, a freak like me, I have 4 wearables today in my body, right? And I have the 8 sleep in my bed, so I know. I, there are like different freaks like me or geeks. I will say that geeks are more. looking for different type of wearables. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's becoming very interesting. I think the future is like everyone is going to use a wearable in their own body. It's becoming very interesting right now. What's going on?
So, I think you're headed down a path, um, and it's I think um, a normal evolution with our society and the way that we operate as humans is to continue to evolve with technology and do new
Yeah.
things. Brian Johnson is a huge, has a huge following, and has been across all kinds of media channels, and he's his own test subject, as you're probably aware.
Hmm.
We're in a space in time where a lot is changing and a lot of policies are changing. We have a new president in office, and a lot of different people in that uh, supporting the president
Hmm.
are there also making adjustments on policies. So what we're starting to see, in my opinion, is things to be uh, more transparent to
Yeah.
consumers, to people. And now that we're in this day and age of AI, you're taking technology to the next level, and you're essentially giving the end user the ability to go ahead and take that information and let them be a test subject on themselves, right? Even though we have the ability to kind of modify our own food and just kind of get a sense of how we feel, you now have data to go ahead and back it up. So are you saying that even me as a consumer, I could wear one of your products, and if I am using a platform, right, such as what the gym owners might be using to take that API and get that information, am I able to also get information on myself as a consumer through your product? So that way I have maybe some actionable things that I can do, recognizing that maybe I didn't get enough sleep, and I, possibly didn't drink enough water. So I'm a little dehydrated. We can measure those things. Or my heart rate's a little funny. Maybe I have a heart murmur. With all of that information, can Rook then give back to a consumer like me saying, hey, here's the things that you probably should be doing today?
Exactly. Exactly. You nailed it. I think that we are living in that world today, and the future is becoming more interesting because today, yes, we are receiving a lot of information, but the problem is what to do with all this data. And you have to create your own analytics. For example, myself, I'm very critic with all my information. And it's like okay, I can see some tendencies if I drink alcohol before, I don't know, 2 hours or 1 hour before I go to sleep. I can see a real change in my heart rate variability. I can see a lot in my stress levels. I can see a lot in my heart rate and my rest heart rate. I can see a lot of different type of things. So today it's, you have to become more analytic. What I'm super happy and very keen to learn more, it's around um, your ownership, because it's not responsibility of the government, is not a responsibility of your insurance policy, is not a responsibility of your doctor, your nutritionist, anyone.
Mm.
Is your responsibility to take ownership of your health. And you have to start to measure everything, to start to make correlations between all the information. So now again, data is power. And it's like if you have the tools outside, why you are not taking responsibility of your own health? So it's like, of course we can help, and we are trying to help. I think AI is trying to help, everyone is trying to help. But it's like today it's on you, not on the government. Not so, yes, you are right, government and everyone is trying to make everything more transparent so you can take better decisions. But it's not going to become, is not going to become in one app. I
Mm.
mean, you have to make your, you have to start to making different type of things, and it's very simple. Sleep well, eat well, make exercise, go to walk, make at least 100 steps. That's it. So
Yeah.
it's not so difficult, but if you start to measure everything, that will help you to move the needle.
So the interesting thing about this is I think there's tremendous value in personalization. I think this, this has been going on for some time now, right? Like gene
Hmm.
therapy and,
Hmm.
understanding your own genetics and understanding your blood type so you can eat the right foods, and getting even, blood analysis done. I know people who do it on a pretty regular basis, so they know what's in their blood and what do they need to eat in order to take care of their body the right way, because they might have some deficiencies. But we're taking everything to the next step, which is, gone are the days where it's like, do this workout. It's, some people still follow it, but do this workout and this is going to get you the same results I have. That's not the case, because we're genetically different. So you look at that and it's like, eat this way and you're going to get the same results. Well, that may not work for me because, I have intolerances to certain things that you eat. Now we're at a point where you can really dial in and refine a personalized set of nutrient programming, identifying deficiencies, sleep pattern programming, things that are really specific to you. The challenge I see is that all of that data, everything that I just consented to, I said, yeah, I confirm all, I check all, is how safe and secure is that data? And are other companies going to maybe discriminate in a sense?
Yeah.
Like you talked about insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
If they have this information and they go, I'm looking at my sheet of paper, I now know who Marco Benitez is. And I go, based on everything that he has here in this data, we did some analysis on this and we have our own algorithm. And what this means is his premium needs to be 10 times
Mm-hmm.
higher than everybody else. Right. So are you going to start seeing that where individuals might get discriminated against because of the data, or, potentially put in a position where, the information is abused?
That's a very good question, and it's like it's difficult at the same time. It's easy to answer it. It's very complex. What I can see is like there is a lot of prevention today. Or they are starting. Insurance companies are starting to move more to the prevention rather to the reaction because it's expensive for them. So CPT codes are starting to change. The ones, let's go one step back from my perspective, the ones who are moving the needle between all the industries are the insurance companies. Insurance companies determine how many hours you have with your physician, how many times you spend with your physician, how many time you spend with your psychologist, because it's a time that they pay to your doctor, right? So I think that today what they are trying to do is navigate more in the prevention and make ownership of the member or the patient or the end user. If they incentive this information to them and start to move the CPT codes more to the prevention rather to the reaction, that's when the change happened, right? Because it's when, okay, maybe if I start to move more, I will receive incentives and could be a discounts in my policy, could be a better life insurance, or maybe a better, I will be more, I don't know, different type of things from each policy. So I will not see it like, okay, the bad way, like, hey, you are fat. I will say fat just for saying something, because you are fat, I will increase your insurance policy. I will see on the on the other way, like, hey, if you start to move, I will make a discounts in your policy because it's the best way. So I will not invest in you so much in you when you are sick, right? So yes, I mean, it's like war at the end of the day. Science is for everyone. That depends how do you use it. That specific tool could be used for a doctor, could be used for someone who has cancer, or could be used for war and use it like a bomb that will kill you in a second. It's the same thing, and it's like we have a lot of medical devices that were built on top of for arms for war. So I mean, always it's like a coin, and at the end of the day, depend on the value of the people that are going to start using this information. It's going to be, the result. But my thoughts, and I always be thinking that we are trying to use this information for the best And that's my purpose. That's all my values. It's like we are trying to make an impactful way for the end users and have a happy life. I don't want to die of cancer. I don't want to die of diabetes. I don't want to die because of heart attack. At the end of the day, we are going to die, definitely. But the
You,
path
you,
is important.
you know what I think that would be of value for the consumer? As you're talking, there's a lot of things that I agree with you on. And I'm thinking through it and I'm going, man, if I'm a consumer, first of all, I'm at a position where I'm going, I agree to I consent to all this stuff, to sending all of my information out there because I believe that by sending my information out there, I'm going to benefit from that. For example,
Yeah.
insurance companies. If an insurance company understands that my health continues to improve and they gamify it, so to speak, I know that I'm going to get a benefit from that, right? Whether it's a reduction in my premium or, um, some perks that they give me because I've been exercising so many times in a week. That's my decision as a consumer to say, I consent to those things because I want these rewards. The other side of the coin, you say flip the coin. Well, let's say I go down the road and I'm further down the road, all of a sudden I see and recognize that because my data is out there, the advantages are really not in my favor, right? It's now against me. It would be nice because it's your data that as a consumer, I could go in and just purge and delete all of my data from wherever those sources originated from, then pulling any of that information that's going somewhere else, right? I think that would be a good way to protect the consumer. So if at any point in time they go, oh, that was a bad decision, I shouldn't have consented to all that. Well, you can go ahead and just remove it all, just purge it. So I know that is not really there because once the data is moved from one server to another server to another server, you got to go find it. And that's very time consuming and probably not likely, but
Well,
would be nice.
yeah, I mean, just to elaborate a little bit more, on our side, data is very important. I said at the beginning, so we are spending a lot of the time on that front. Even though that we are HIPAA compliant, GDPR compliant, ISO, all these certifications, we elaborate something for the end user. And if they want to delete all the data, they can, because we have control of where the information goes. So we can delete, because at the end of the day, the owner of the data is the end user. The data, it's outside. If you, every single time that you go to Amazon and you go to Google and you start to, I don't know, in TikTok or in
Yeah.
YouTube, your data, it's outside no matter what. um, but yeah, if we are talking about, or even with the Epic, all the
Mm-hmm.
health data, it's outside with the, and it's important also to have this data because that helps a lot the society.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the clinical trials, for big pharma help. They have all this information. If they have more data, they can create better drugs for
Mm-hmm.
everyone and not have only outliers, because the problem outside, when they once they are building a new drug, it's like they have only control data, but there's no outliers
Yeah.
because they don't have that data. So if everyone shared that data, they can improve the way they are doing clinical trials and make more information. It's super interesting. But yeah, going back, definitely we are doing a lot of stuff for the data. And if the end user want to delete everything, they can. And we have a specific algorithm for that. Just one algorithm is very specific for that information. So we are working a lot on with that, believe me, because we
That's
know
great.
how sensitive is the data.
That's great. So, you know, the last piece of question I have for you, at the end of the day, the data is extremely sensitive, right? So this is a bit of a controversial question because some people might argue that gyms and insurance companies have in this position control over individuals' lives. So where do we draw the line between using data for improvement and crossing over into surveillance or intrusion, right, into personal freedoms?
Yeah, at the end of the day, as I said before, the ownership of the data is the end user,
Hmm.
and I have control of that. I should be. I have to, because it's my data. So, or again, on our side, we are working towards a lot on this specific thing, and believe me, we have strong algorithms for that, and we eliminate anything that our end user, well, not our, the end user want to destroy or want to take out. So yes, I think it's relevant, and more in the world that we are living. Again, it's very important to share the data. Believe me, it's very important. It's, we can see in with our own algorithms, and we see these type of things also with big companies. There is a lot of big companies only making money with data, and it's good because they, that helps, because they recollect the data and then they can sell that information for creation of, I don't know, algorithms for clinical trials, for,
Hmm.
you know, different type of things. There's a lot outside around that. But we truly believe that it's very important to have this information outside, so we can improve the ways we can show everything to the end users, to the members, to the, I don't know, also for your health. I mean, it's the only way. It's the only AI. The only way is because all
Yeah.
the data that's outside. If not,
Hmm.
there's no AI, right?
Yeah. I love what you're doing. I think it has a lot of merit and it carries a lot of weight, and there's a lot of value in what you guys are doing with Rook. It's just a matter of connecting all of these. Uh, I think you're in a position right now where, and you're already doing it with insurance companies and fitness, but you guys are a piece, a big piece of the component of this bigger ecosystem of how you drive health, how you improve people's health, how you can impact more people. And now we just got to get more hospitals and insurance companies on board with sharing data, right? So fitness facilities sharing data, customers sharing data, and insurance companies and healthcare systems and hospitals sharing data, so we can take all of that compiled information and make better decisions and better choices for the consumers, for our population, for our people.
Yeah. Something I was sharing with one of our investors. Um, we are very lucky because we talk with insurance companies. We would talk with health programs, with hospitals. We work with fitness industry, with wellness, and we know all the languages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know how to talk with everyone, and we know the needs from each vertical or each industry. And because of our own nature, we are interconnectors of everyone, so we know exactly what they need. It's like we go with the hospitals and we say, what you need is this type of fitness,
Right.
you know, clubs. So you need insurance companies. It's like because they told us, like, we have very good conversations with them, and they told us like, hey, I want to be a little bit more close with the fitness industry, but not sure how. And we are okay, you can go with this event. Hey, let's talk with this leadership, with this key opinion leader. Let's talk with this physician. Let's talk, you know, because we are interconnectors. We are that pipe, and it's a nature also of Rook. It's like we are that pipe that connect all the industries. So it's a bless, to be very
Yeah.
honest.
I love what you guys are doing, and I think it's a huge huge step forward in the healthcare system. I encourage you to continue doing what you're doing because I think it's going to make a huge impact. Everyone, thank you
Thanks.
for listening in. That is Marco Benitez with Rook. And Marco, where can people find you? What is it? I know that we talked about having some kind of uh, download or some kind of form for them to get in touch or get some information from you, and we'll provide that here a little later. But where can they find you?
Yeah, well, the company, it's very simple. Try rook.io. You can go to LinkedIn. It's where we are more active. Also for myself, Marco Benitez in LinkedIn too. We start to make some videos, some short videos, some reels around data, but also around health. tips that we find from all the data that we receive, because we have a lot of data. So we can start making we are trying to make these insights with the videos that I am doing today. I'm starting to do this information in Spanish, but as well in English. It's become very interesting because now we can start making these type of things for everyone. You can find my name, Marco Benitez, all over the places.
Awesome. Marco, thank you so much for your time today. And everyone listening, obviously, as you know, I always say this, sharing is caring. And if you found anything interesting on this podcast, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share it with others. And then lastly, you'll be getting an opportunity to go ahead and download a resource tool that Marco will be sharing with us. Again, thanks everyone for listening, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.